Hello. You must all be familiar with the presentations that are given for different purposes, like a presentation in a school, a college, or maybe in your organization. So, what is the purpose of presentation and how we can make an effective presentation? Presentations are basically to provide some important information to the audience with the purpose of motivating them to buy a certain product or maybe to get certain services, or it may be simply to provide them with certain set of information which is important for them, right? So presentations these days are audio visual. We use various flip charts, projectors, PowerPoint presentations, statistical documents, and make the presentation very interesting, impressive, as well as informative. So presentations basically can be individual presentations or a group presentation, like a group in a the group that has worked on a particular project, so they are presenting in front of you. That is the thing. Or it could be an individual where an individual is presenting on a predetermined topic. So presentations are basically informative in nature or persuasive in nature. That is, when the purpose is to provide information to the audience, that is informative. For example, if I want to train my trainees who are new, who have joined recently the organization, that they should be provided with certain set of instructions. Okay, they should be made familiar with the policies and procedures of the organization. So a proper presentation has to be done on it. So that is an informative presentation. And whereas if I talk about a persuasive presentation, that is with an idea of motivating the audience. So for a particular thing, to persuade them, to convince them. For example, a sales presentation that is with the aim of motivating the audience to buy a particular product or a particular service. So one important factor is that whenever we are presenting, we have to be very sure about the objective. What is the objective of presentation? We should do proper analysis of the audience. What is the age group? What is the educational qualification? What is their background? What are their interests, perceptions, and belief? And then we should come up with a theme of presentation. We should provide a lot of data, information, facts, figures, a lot of anecdotes that are related to it to make it interesting and impressive. And we should conclude, again summarizing it in a proper way with a proper draft of that presentation. So these are some of the things that we have to keep in mind. Also, while preparing a presentation, we should see that the introduction should be done using porch and aim layout. Porch is how to enter into a presentation. It could be through a proverb, a saying, or an anecdote, okay, or something which is interesting, a very interesting statistic related to that topic. So we can start a porch with that. And then there is aim, what is the purpose of presentation, and the layout, that is what is the agenda, how we are going to go about it. So all that has to be done in the introduction section, and then there is going to be the text section in which we are going to provide all the information that is related to that presentation, which should have occupy at least 40 to 50% time of your presentation. And finally you have to summarize it with all highlighting all the important points that you have discussed, concluding with a certain set of data and certain set of information all over again. And we have to follow certain principles, like principle of clarity, that is the voice, the way you are speaking, language barriers should not be there, your pronunciation, your diction, okay, any kind of semantic barrier should not be there. Same way there should be principle of simplicity. Don't use too many technical jargons that the audience are not going to relate with or able to understand with. And also principle of audience analysis that I have discussed, that has to be done. Principle of emotional appeal, that is how the audience are going to relate with your thing. So you can come up with some anecdotes, some examples, some case studies, some really good benefits of that particular thing. So all that you can come up with. And at the same time, the principle of feedback is most important. Not one way flow of information, but just ask the audience that whatever questions they have, or they want to add on something, or they want a discussion on a particular topic which they are not clear with. So such type of thing has to be done once your presentation is over. So after that, if there is a two-way discussion, then it becomes a really interesting presentation. All these things should be kept in mind while preparing a presentation.